Good afternoon, everybody. Well, good evening. In fact, let's get my times of day right. Welcome to the pro race here at the Hungary, part of the Formula Sim Racing League. I'm Jack Nichols, and I'm joined here today by Brian Labode, and the race will be getting underway in about 10 minutes' time. But before that, Brian, let's have a little brief chat about the competitors we've got today. The biggest news, I guess, is that Rasmus Tali, the man who romped away with the win last time out in Germany, isn't racing here today.
Yes, Jack, good evening everybody. That's what I've heard as well, hot off the press. Apparently he's moved up to the WC category. For what reason I don't know. Maybe they've had a driver drop out and he's just filling the space there. But that's good for him after his outing in Nuremberg last week. And talking about the last race we had, Dimitri Dimitras continues to lead the Pro Division Championship by 173 points. Behind him, Lucas Euler, who I haven't seen today, so he might be away on vacation or whatever reason, 149 points, so he's closing the gap to him, to Dimitri Dimitras. Dave Carr-Smith, 103 points, so he's got a bit to catch up there, so he needs some DNFs really. Mendukas Columbus, 78 points. Rasmus Tali, 75, who as we've just been talking about, folks, he's now moved up to WC class. And then we've got Ben Phillips, who came fourth at Nuremberg, so he's really moved up the order there in 67 places. Last year, the race winner was Dimitri Dimitras, who headed off Karim Weisenberg, followed by Johanni Alman, and the only other person who's still racing here is Danny Roberts in 8th place, and then Dave Carr-Smith was 2 laps down in 12th. So question is, can DDM make it 2 wins in succession from last year and this year? So that's one of the talking points. We're going to be watching out for that, Jack. And as we know, last race Tali won, followed by Dimitras, then Allard Fort. So he had a very good outing, Allard Fort. That was his first podium, and I said earlier on was Ben Phillips. Just going to chat about people who've got penalties for this race and the grid slots. Okay, this is going to be applied after Q2. Cyril Wemula is having a 5 grid penalty. Rando Muro is having a 5 grid penalty as well. Alberto Dewan, a 10 grid penalty. Robert Fakes, a 10 grid penalty. Fabian Guckel, 10 grid penalty. And Nick Rowland, a 15 grid penalty. And the back of the grid will be Jack Keckley. Other penalties are to do with licenses, which I'm not going to go in there, but people have been given warnings. I think you get 3 strikes and then you're out with the new point system that FSR is now using. Yeah, and as I hear, it's really for bad driving, either causing a massive crash or things like that. But just to go over the Hungary ring, is 14 corners. Noticeably, turn 1 has been changed for the last few years now, making it a very good overtaking opportunity. I don't know if most of you will be old enough, but I remember turn 3 back in the day when a certain Belgian Terry Boutsen, led from pole, had a full tank of petrol. Of course, in those days you could qualify on a light fuel tank and then go for a full race tank. And in those days you could actually have a full race of tank. And he actually raced in 1990. He led from start to finish, one of the most boring races. But then 2 years after that, I think they took away that turn 3, which actually has the highest G-force load, which 3.93 centrifugal force load G-force there. But since then, it's been a much faster track there. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember Nigel Mansell having an opportunity to overtake him maneuver on Ayrton Senna behind the Onyx driven by Johansson. Turn 4, as we know, before turn 4 is where the S1 ends, the timing sector there. That's where Felipe Massa had that freak accident last weekend during Q2 at Hungary, and that's one of my favourite corners. I must ask Jack when he comes back on, which is his favourite corner on this track. Mine is the 4th one. Oh, Jack, yeah, Jack. My favourite corner is 4th, because you're climbing up the hill, and then your apex is just bereft of the apex. You don't see it until you actually do the turn in there. But that for me is the best corner. I just want to bring you in and ask you what's your favourite corner. Do you have any memories of this track from yesteryears, Jack?
I think the biggest memory that I have was 1997 and Damon Hill overtaking Michael Schumacher in the uncompetitive Arrows and dominating the race until a throttle linkage problem robbed him of victory on the last lap. I was 7 years old then, but I was absolutely gutted. I probably cried. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably cried. So my turn 4 is a great corner, that's for sure. And overall, this is a track that the drivers really seem to enjoy. It's a great technical challenge. There's some fast bits. There's some very technical slow bits, especially 8, 9, and 10, which is a left, right, left, I think. They're really challenging to get right because it's very much less haste, more speed. You know what I mean? If you try and rush those corners, then the time just plummets. So we haven't got long now until the race gets underway. And then I think it's 70 laps around here. Yep, 70 laps around this Hungaroring.
Yeah, Jack, I remember that one, and apparently, so I'm told, it caused that throttle linkage that happened to Damon Hill's car was something worth like 50p. You know, just something so cheap and insequential, but it made a huge impact to his race there. And also, yes, I agree with you. 8, 9, and 10, that sweeping, flowing, and 11 is another right-hand corner which you don't see the apex until you're right on top of it, but not as challenging as turn 4.
Okay, 12
and really
is the one that's been reprofiled.
S2, sector 2, which starts just before turn 4 and ends just after turn 11, is where people make up and lose a lot of time there. And turn 12 has also been reprofiled again, the right-hand turn there. Because I remember it used to be a little chicane back years and years ago, but the profile has been changed and made it a bit tighter there. And then we've got that up to turn 13 and 14, and really, I think the most places they'll be overtaking Jack would be into turn 1.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only real opportunity to get past. If you're lucky or someone makes a mistake, you may be able to sneak through at other opportunities on the lap, potentially into that reprofiled turn 12, and we're just restarting the warm-up here because I think someone had an issue with having medium tyres on when they wanted super softs or something like that, but that's irrelevant. The race will be underway soon, I promise. Don't get angry with me. But yeah, for sure, turn 1 is the best place for overtaking, and I think that's where most of the overtaking will be today. There is a slow chicane in the middle of the lap, but there's not really much of a braking zone because you're not approaching it very fast. And turn 2, actually, if you go side by side through turn 1, you can often make the move stick in turn 2.
I suppose also if you get a good run up into turn 4 and you don't go too wide there, cars behind you might decide to go around the outside. I remember, was it Schumacher going around was it Villeneuve in the wets on turn 5 out on the outside there. So if you get turn 4 wrong and go too slow, and the guy comes up really quick behind you, he could overtake you to turn 5, but he has to have some cooperation from the guy ahead, obviously.
Yeah, I think it was Alonso around the outside of Schumacher in 2006. That's when.
Oh, I stand corrected. Of course, that's right, in the wets, of course. So I'm thinking of Villeneuve with something else. So that was Estoril with Schumacher some years ago. Okay,
yeah.
sorry, sorry about that, folks. Okay, so.
So we haven't got long now to go before the race begins. I know I've said that numerous times so far today. I would imagine. Let's talk strategy, actually, Brian. It's going to be a 3 or a 2 stopper. I would say that the front runners, the quickest qualifiers on the grid, will be on 3 stoppers potentially, and then sort of 4th and 5th and 6th will be sort of 2 stopping, and then we may have, as we had in Germany, we had was it Scott Wilde was 1 stopping, but unfortunately his race got ruined by drive-through penalties, crashing, engine blow-ups, that sort of thing. But he was the only one who braved a 1 stopper. How do you see the strategy panning out here, Brian?
Okay, Jack. Apparently, in this track, you lose only 20 seconds if you go into the pits, change tire, and come out again. Which reminds me, again, back in the old days on this track, of Berger changing tires, going very rapidly, very quickly, catching the guys up in front, and then couldn't go past them again, even though it was on fresh rubber. So tire wear, whoever car has got the good setup to look after his tires, and probably a 2-stop strategy there, barring everything goes well, would, I think would give people the edge here for that. So again, we're going to look for De Matos, Alain Forts, Ben Phillips, these kind of people. Dave Carsmith, we see where he comes up. Remember his accident he had at Nuremberg after he had a heavy load of fuel, and he raced up to 5th, and he was actually looking good until he had his accident there. So that's what I reckon. So whoever's got their car set up, tire wear, minimum tire wear, 2 stops. I'm sticking my neck out. Would say would be the person who's going to come up definitely in the podium position.
Yeah, it's quite fortunate here because it doesn't take very long to make a pit stop. You can get into the pits, out of the pits, plus making your pit stop within 20 seconds. So the deficit for making a pit stop here isn't too great, which may play into the hands of the 3 stoppers potentially. We're just waiting for Alberto De Juan, who is having trouble with his tyres still. But I'm sure he'll be back in a few moments' time. And well, our driver of the race last time out in Germany was Ben Phillips. Now, where has Ben qualified today? I think he's qualified reasonably well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we'll wait and see. But he's certainly one to watch. He kept his nose clean and just kept driving through the field, and in the end, came out finishing 4th or 5th, Brian.
Yes, 4th. I was talking to him earlier on the survey. Brilliant drive from him. Remember, for me, I thought because it was his first podium, was my driver until I saw Ben really, towards the end of the race, really started getting faster and faster lap times. Just to let everybody know, Ash Racing is actually in the constructors' title with 268 points, followed by Torrent Motorsports is second, 174. IP Forge 129, and then hang on. For some reason, everything's disjointed a bit. But Jack, looks like we're going on the grid now, mates. So if you want to take us round on the warm-up lap and the start of the race, please. Over to you, Jack.
The 30-second board has just been held aloft, and well, that's now 10 seconds have passed, so 20 seconds. And when the cars set off on the green flag lap, we will take you down through the grid order. Of course, 70 laps does not include the green flag lap. They'll pootle around for a lap, park on the grid, and then all using the launch control systems on the cars will set off. Right then, the lights, the green flag is waved, and Dimitri de Matos takes us off in the lead of this race. He will be starting from pole position. In second place will be Alafot, third Clayton Nelms, fourth, Clayton actually has had excellent pace throughout testing, so he's really on form here today. Fourth will be Dave Carr-Smith, fifth will be Henning Cords, sixth will be Damien Dane-Humane, seventh Emre Usal, eighth Job van der Geest, ninth Peter Erberts, 10th will be Scott Wild. So if he got into that, and in fact Peter Erbert's gone into the wall there, and yeah.
Yeah, 10th place is Scott Wild, 11th is Mika Tomala, 12th is Cyril Wermuller. I can just see Peter Egbert now trying to force his way up as he goes past Scott Wild in 10th place. In 13th place we've got Mendukas Columbus, 14th we've got Buatila, 15th, wow, Ben Phillips. In 16th place Danny Roberts, 17th is Marcos Hoffman, 18th we've got Phil Roberts, 19th is Pablo Tassano, in 20th place we've got Jordan Ali Good, in 21st we've got Robert Fakes, and then we've got Alberto Dewan, who was having, Jack, you said, having tyre problems. He had chosen the wrong compound and he was having a bit of a problem there. But okay, Jack, taking it back to you now. That's the grid formation.
Thanks for taking us through the rest of the grid there, Brian. 22 runners, as you say. Alberto de Juan will line up at the back of the grid, and indeed the leaders are coming through and, well, are already in their grid slots. Job van der Geest is parked very aggressively in 8th place. I wonder if he's out of position. He's looking a little bit suspect. So Alberto de Juan...
He's one to watch, I guess.
All coming through the final corner now. Alberto de Juan is lined up on the grid, and now we wait for the lights. It's all fine. Job van der Geest is fine. Dimitri de Matos is waiting for the lights, which go out, and the racing is underway, and it looks like it's a good start from de Matos. In fact, it's pretty line astern from all the front row drivers as we come down into turn 1. De Matos leads from Alafot. Dave Carr-Smith is looking up the inside there and has gone through into third position. Clayton Nelms has also lost out to Henning Cords, but then we'll have the inside down into turn 2. Absolutely no incidents further back, but it's going to be Henning Cords who holds 4th position, although he runs a little bit wide, and Clayton Nelms now looks to the outside but doesn't make it through. There is one car off at turn 3, but at the moment it's Damien Dane-Humane and Clayton Nelms who are battling it out. Crazy time. Alafot spun! Alafot has spun on the exit of turn 4. 15th, 16th, 17th, 19th, 20th now, Alafot. And I think he's just dropped it on the end of turn 4.
Oh, crash.
I'll just have a...
Crash.
Yep.
De Juan is off as well at turn 2.
So Alberto de Juan has gone off as well, so they all made it through turn 1 relatively safely. But, well, the big news there, Brian, Alafot crashing on the 4th corner of this race.
Yeah, that's that corner we're talking about. I said if you get that wrong, people will get a run up on you, and he lost it big time there. Just so that's we've kind of lost him now. Going over the line now, Dimitri de Matos, Dave Carr-Smith, Henning Codes, 4th place, Clayton Nelms, 5th place, Damien Dane-Humane. As they're going to the corner there, oh, that was a close one there. And 6th place is now Emre Usta, 7th, Mendukas Columbus, 8th place is Peter Egbert. He goes into the corner with Job van der Geest on a touch. Oh, he runs wide. Van der Geest runs wide, spins. Jackie spins into turn 3 there. Oh, wow.
That was a very, very lucky moment for Job van der Geest. I don't know how no cars collected him as he sat on the pretty much on the racing line on the exit of turn 3, a very fast corner. So very exciting there. Dave Carr-Smith is up into 2nd, which we'd already discounted. So very exciting action early on. Job van der Geest, as I say, very lucky not to have a major impact, and he'll be lucky, and he is lucky in fact that he's got no damage. Now the battle for 4th position, Clayton Nelms and Damien Dane Humane are going at it. Clayton hasn't looked comfortable in these opening few laps. Dane Humane was close behind him on the previous lap. They're taking different lines through that final corner, and that's going to be a problem for Damien because he's not going to get the run that he needs on Clayton. But Clayton's going very defensive early on and now switches back to the racing line, gets a little bit on the grass, but he's just trying to break the toe, I think, as I saw someone coming out of the pit lane. But if Clayton continues to hold up Damien Dane Humane, Emre Usal and Mindegas Columbus and Peter Herbert will soon be on the back of them. And so this is certainly the battle to watch, because Carl Smith is dropping a little bit behind the leader Dimitri Dematos, only 0.7 seconds, but Dane Humane is certainly the man who appears to be on a move, and he'll be glad that he's made it through turn 1 unscathed after quite a number of first corner incidents in the last few races.
Oh yes indeed, as they come into the chicane there, we've got a battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place. And kind of a concertinaing effect, Jack, as they come into turn 8 and 9, 10, 11 and 11 are coming down to turn 12. There's 5 of them right close in proximity to each other. They slow down to that tight turn 12. Coming to turn 13 now. Let's ride in with Columbus and Ever stalking him. Coming out onto the gas early. 3rd gear, 4th gear. Drops down to 3rd is Columbus as he starts to wind up. Put on the power early. Let's see, does he get a toe ahead of him? Let's try to get a toe from Damien Humane, but just gets it, but then it's just too late as a blade break into turn 1 there, Jack. Back to you.
Yep, Usal and Dane Humane are closing in, and that's allowed Clayton Nelms to get a bit of breathing space, and Carl Smith isn't letting Dematos go. Only 6/10 of a second now as they cross the start-finish line, and 5/10 of a second as they cross the line at Sector 1. So Dave Carl Smith could be challenging for the lead before too long. Dane Humane has dropped back a bit now from Clayton Nelms, and in fact that may put him into the clutches of Emre Usal. So we've got battles going on all the way down the field at the moment, and well, Alafot will be one to watch as well, because he will be trying to clamber back up the order. I think Carl Smith here is down to up to 6/10 of a second, so these two pretty evenly matched so far at the front, and I think strategy will be absolutely crucial, because Dave Carl Smith, well, he qualified 4th, didn't he? So that would suggest that potentially he has a little more fuel on board, which may work in his favour as they cross the start-finish line now to start their 5th lap already. The gap is still 6/10 of a second.
Yes, 6 to go. I'll give the quick rundown. DDM leading from DCS. Henning Codes 3rd. Clayton Nelms 4th. Damien Dane Humane 5th. Emre Usla 6th. Mindegas Columbus 7th place. Peter Edbert in 8th place. Mika Tomala 9th. 10th is Pablo Tosano. 11th place now, starting to show some form now, is Ben Phillips, Jack. 12th, Cyril Wemula. 13th, Scott Wild. 14th, we've got Job Van de Gees after that spin into turn 3 there, and he's got back there. Oh, Scott Wild just dropped down a bit there. Robert Fakes 15th, Marcus Hoffman 16th, 17th is Philip Roberts, and 18th is Alberto Duan. Alafort 19th, Bu Attila 20th, 21st Jordan Aligood, and Danny Roberts ringing up the rear. Oh, in fact, Jordan Aligood has a DNF along with Danny Roberts, so we lost both those guys, Jack, and it seems that DDM has now pulled out a 1.5 second gap to DCS.
He made a mistake.
He must have made a mistake, Jack. I don't know if you saw that, dude, as they come down, plunge down towards turn 2 there, Jack. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I'm watching the battle for 10th position. Pablo Tassano, Ben Phillips and Cyril Verdmuller are all very close. Tassano is driving very, very raggedly. Personally, I'm getting a massive ping from him, but I'm getting quite a large ping anyway from the server. But so that might be playing a bit of havoc with Ben Phillips. as they come up through turn 4 now. Phillips and Tassino have run a bit wide. In fact, Phillips has run a bit too wide. Cyril Verdmuller is going to get the cutback here, and Phillips and Verdmuller could be side by side into the chicane. Verdmuller does the sensible thing and gets out of there early. Dave Carr-Smith apparently is struggling with the tyres at this stage in the race. It is about lap 6 or 7 that they start to get a little bit too slippery, and but meanwhile this battle for 10th, 11th and 12th is the one to watch at the moment, I believe, and they're all very ragged. Maybe it's just my lag, but they're all really pushing hard. And there's Peter Herbert. What's happened to him? He must have spun. And now he's going to be side by side with Phillips and Verdmuller. And there's a little bit of contact there, and Peter Herbert now, after spinning, we'll have to find out exactly what happened, but he's obviously spun at turn 13, 12, in between 12 and 13. But Ben Phillips and Tassino is weaving. Tassino is weaving there. I don't know if any of you are watching that, but Pablo Tassino is weaving like a weavy man.
Oxtail.
Yes, okay. Just up ahead though, Jack, the battle for second place. Carl-Smith, as we understand, is struggling with his tyres at this moment on lap 6 with graining, and Henning Kors is hounding him, he's stalking him, and he makes a little mistake there. They're going to turn 8, and Henning Kors right behind Dave Carl-Smith. Turn 9, pushing turn, fast sweeping turn 10, and this is you don't see the apex to just about now, and Henning Kors is closing in on Dave Carl-Smith as they brake heavily for turn 12, and he's just right behind Carl-Smith in that tight turn 12. Okay, and
boot him. Not boot him.
Kors now right up behind Dave Carl-Smith in turn 14, and he's got a good run up to Dave Carl-Smith. Pulling up, must be in his toe now, Jack. 193 miles an hour, pulls out it, take a look, but Dave Carl-Smith shuts it off firmly in his face there, Jack.
Yeah, we're having word that Carl-Smith is suffering troubles not only with the tyres but with other exterior intervention. Other rumours flying around the pit lane at the moment, but certainly that battle is raging on, and it's difficult to know where to look because Cyril Verdmuller has got past Ben Phillips and back in that battle for 9th and 10th.
Oh, and Tassino causes Verdmuller to spin! Oh my goodness gracious me! Jack, like you said, he's having some high pings there, and that causes a warping and a lag effect, but Verdmuller had a touching together with Tassino, then spun into turn 2.
He certainly did, and we're reading high ping everywhere from Tassino, but I'm sure even this warping doesn't even explain the weaving he's up to. But Henning Kors then on Dave Carl-Smith, and Peter Herbert's spun at the chicane now, so that's a second spin for Peter Herbert today. Dave Carl-Smith then, let's have a little look at the gap as he comes out. It's half a second at the final sector, and in fact it may be a little bit less than that. No, it is exactly that, but Henning Kors not quite close enough. He'll get a little bit of a toe to close him in a little bit, but then he'll outbrake himself and try and get the cutback. Let's hope that Carl-Smith's problems finish soon enough as they come down into turn 2, but Kors is looking a little bit racy, and let me just have a look at Carl-Smith's lap times. He's dropped about half a second off his original pace.
Jack, turn 1, it's Van der Gies now, right behind Tassino. Let's see what's going to happen. Tassino goes defensive, Van der Gies tries to go around the outside, plunging down the hill now to turn 3. Oh, really on the gas now. Let's see who's going to make a mistake into turn 4 here. They'll come over to the right. Right corner. Oh, and Van der Gies just drops there from the dirty air. Oh, and Van der Gies spins into turn 5, Jack. Oh no.
That's Van der Gies' second spin of the day, so they're all over the place this evening in Pro. Henning Kors still half a second behind Dave Carl-Smith, and they're both dropping away from Dimitri de Matos. So another spin for Job Van der Gies. I wonder if Pablo Tassino's put something on the rear of his car that's making everyone who comes near him spin. But as I say that, he himself has got a little slide on, and now Phillips is all over his gearbox once again, and Cyril Verdmuller. So it's as you were for that position now as they come out of the final corner and head down the start-finish straight. But Henning Kors has just outbraked himself a little bit there on Dave Carr-Smith, so that's not really
Weaving
important.
again.
Here's Tassano, one move across
Tassano!
the track and another move
Yeah,
across the track.
Tassano,
And Cyril
definitely.
Verbul has gone up the inside.
Oh!
Ben Phillips and makes it through. A good move there from Cyril Verbul, but I am not impressed with this driving from Tassano.
Jack, Tassano's ping is really over 390 there. I noticed when cars come right up close to him, it starts lagging a bit there. So I don't know if that's what's causing these other guys when they catch up with him, missing their turning points or something. But right now, Phillips and Wermuller is closed right up with Tassano as they come into turn 6, the chicane, turn 7. They all make it through there. Turn 8 off the gearbox, 3, 4. Down to 3 again goes Ben Phillips as he goes into turn 9. Turn 10,
wow,
4th gear, 5th gear. Oh, drops down to 5th, stays in 5th. And oh, look, Tassano's gone off the track! He's gone off and he spun there! Jack, he spun!
Yep, he's obviously made himself spin this time, and also Peter
Oh!
Owen, and Tassano spun again.
Oh, he spun
So,
again! A low speed spin there. Sorry, Jack, you take over, mate.
No, that's alright. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, Peter Herbert's had another spin and collected the barrier and has suspension damage, so he's wiggling all over the place. Henning Cords has dropped back a little on Dave Carr-Smith. Scott Wilde spun a couple of moments ago as well, and 12th position, Marcus Hoffman, Job van der Geest down the start-finish straight into turn 1. Van der Geest looks up the inside, but Hoffman will hang on around the outside. But in fact, that's given Van der Geest a great run down into turn 2, and he's made the move before they even get there. Hoffman will try and hang on around the outside and now get the cut back for turn 3, but it's not going to work, and they've got a fast car of Alafot behind them. But of course, Alafot is a lap down, so what's he going to do if he overtakes these two? He'll just get blue flagged and told to let them back past. It really is an impossible situation at the moment for Alafot.
Jack, what do you think's causing these guys to spin off on this track? Is it low grip on the track, their driving styles, their setups? Let's just guess, because I haven't driven this mod. I'm sure you've probably done a few laps on this. What are you seeing is causing these guys to spin so massively like this at the moment, Jack?
I think they know that that there is literally one overtaking opportunity, and so they know that they need to be right up the back of their man before they get to the start-finish straight. So as a result, they are pushing so hard to try and get up to the back of them to get that one opportunity that they need, that they're just pushing it too hard in a lot of cases. I think that's basically the idea.
Oh, a mistake by Henning Cords there into turn 5 allows Clayton Nemso closing up on him and lets Dave Carr-Smith have a little bit of a breathing spot. They're going to the chicane 6 and 7. Clayton right behind now into turn 8. Turn 9 is right behind Henning Cords, Jack, as they approach turn 10 and the blind turn 11 going down to turn 12. Oh, he runs very wide there, does Clayton Nelms. Late on the brakes, tight turn 12 as they approach turn 13. In second gear goes Clayton onto the gas. Does he go to third gear? Yes, and then drops fourth gear briefly and then drops down to third as he makes the turn and now onto the gas.
Damien Dane Humane is the first man into the pits on lap 13, so he wasn't fueled very long, to be honest, but Henning Cords is falling away from Dave Carr-Smith, and Nelms is falling away a little bit from Henning Cords, so that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Now, 11th position, Pablo Tassano, again, this time defending from Job van der Geest. Let's see if this is lag, or let's see if this is weaving. Tassano, the inside, the outside, and van der Geest goes up the inside, but Tassano's outbraked himself. Will that give van der Geest contact? And Tassano loses the position after contact, but I really... Is it just me, Brian? I think Tassano is moving a little too much on the straights.
Yeah, dude, yes, I'll have to agree. It's my opinion, you have to agree. Let's leave that to the race director. I will say no more on that before I get in trouble with
P15, P14.
Okay, Battle Jack for 14th, 15th and 16th now, coming to turn 5. And it's Robert Fakes leading this, then Scott Wilde, closely followed by Phil Roberts into turn 6 and 7, right behind each other. You can they just go past each other just as you say their names. They're right going flying past us, Jack. Now into turn 9, turn 10, turn 11, coming down to turn 12.
Emre Usal has just made his pit stop, and Pootle's out, rejoining in 8th position and potentially cut the line in there. And Pablo Tassino is coming to the pits. Let's see if he can keep it in a straight line as he comes in now. And Wild is really closing on Fakes now, back to this 14th position. Of course, Scott Wild is much faster than Rob Fakes. And in fact, I think we'll get a demonstration of that now as they come down into turn 1. Wild looks to the inside. Fakes doesn't really bother to defend. And yeah, Tassino is in the pits, and Wild takes the position. And well, that was easy.
Jacques, just watching Tassino in the pits, he's not good, over 400 milliseconds on his ping there. I wonder, I don't know, Jack, does the game actually drop you out? Oh, he makes a mistake! Come out to turn 1 there, Jack. I don't know if your ping is so high if the game actually drops you or not, Jack. I don't know if you know that, but we've now had Edbert, Alberto Duan and Danny Roberts DNFs, Jack, at the moment.
Heading Cords in the pits.
It doesn't kick you. Henning Cords is in the pits now. This will be an interesting strategy call for Dave Carr-Smith, because if he might be on a 2-stopper, you know, but he will want to come in this lap if he's to neutralise the threat of the sticky, softer tyres that Henning Cords will have put on. And in fact, my ping has just gone back to normal. I had high ping for a while. But and 9th position, Damien Dane-Humane and Ben Phillips are at it, coming into turn 2. Ben Phillips up the inside of Dane-Humane, hanging on around the outside there.
Oh, wow!
He almost made that stick. But in the end, it's Ben Phillips that gets through. And I think these two may be fairly evenly matched. No, what am I saying? Ben Phillips hasn't pitted, and Damien Dane-Humane has. So they're not evenly matched at all. So DeMatos comes through to start another lap, to start his 16th lap. Carr-Smith doesn't pit. Well, we'll have to see how long he stays out for, because I wonder if that move may cost him, because we'll see here with Clayton Nelms coming into the pits in 3rd position. This will be interesting to see, because I imagine that Henning Cords will have pulled out. He was, what, a second, maybe 2 seconds ahead of Nelms.
Yeah, he's just going past the pits now, Jack.
And now
Henning Cords just going past him.
Past the pits, and Nelms is still stationary. Nelms may have had a bit of damage, but that fresh lap for Henning Cords has absolutely destroyed Clayton Nelms. So unless Dave Carr-Smith is on a 2-stopper and isn't coming in for another 5 laps or so, I think he's going to lose 2nd place.
Okay, top 10 rundown. DDM, DCS, Mendukas Columbus now up in 3rd place, Jack. 4th place is Tomala. 5th place is Cords. 6th place is Wemula. 7th is Usla. 8th is Clayton Nems. 9th is Ben Phillips, really moving up the order now. And Damien Dane-Humane is 10th. And look, John Van der Geest, if it wasn't for his 2 spins there, he'd have been really mixing up with the big boys at the moment, Jack. But that ends at top 10 with Damien Dane-Humane running up the top 10.
Henning Cords, this is going to be crucial. Dave Carr-Smith is setting fastest laps at the moment. He's just done his fastest lap of the race in 18.3. Oh, but Henning Cords has done a 17.6. A 17.6. So Carr-Smith, like I say, unless he is not coming in for 5 laps or so, he's going to lose 2nd position. I'm convinced, because Henning Cords is now just 18 seconds behind Carr-Smith. This is going to be really close, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. If our calculations are right, or what we've been told, is there's less than 20 seconds to make an into the pits, a quick pit stop and out again. So this is going to be interesting. Jack, I do know some people, if they've got damage, you can actually switch damage off if it's not affecting you too much. So why don't these guys switch the damage off on their way? Is it just too fiddly to drive and change the damage sequence?
Still nothing from Dimitri.
I think they forget, to be honest. Emre Usal is being closed in by Clayton Nelms, but and Mindigas Columbus is pitting as well, as is Mikhail Tumala. But I think, to be honest, sometimes you forget, Brian, and sometimes it is a bit fiddly, especially if you have a wheel like a G25 where there's only 2 buttons on the steering wheel. Some of the other buttons, some of the other wheels have loads of Cyril Verbmuller in the pits as well. Some of the other wheels have loads of buttons, so you can sort it all out on your wheel. But if you have a G25, you've got to reach across to the gear stick sort of pad, and that can be quite fussy. Now, Dimitri Dematos is coming up to Laptasino, I believe, or am I incorrect there?
Soon, not right up his gearbox. Soon.
Jack, Henning Coles has not really made that much of an impression lap time wise. It's still, was it 18, 19, 20 seconds still the difference. So that blistering lap he had there, I don't know if Dave Carsmith has got the message. I don't know if he's responded well, but over to you, Jack.
Well, Dimitri Dematos is in the pits. Dave Carsmith stays out and takes the lead of this race with an 18.8 compared to Henning Cords' 18.0. I really think Dave is going to lose this second position unless he can stay out for longer. But Dematos comes out of the pits now, in front of Henning Cords, well, in between Cords and Dave Carsmith. So pretty nice position for Dematos to come out. No traffic at all. And this is looking like it could be his in the bag.
Okay, folks, Carsmith leading on lap 18. 10 seconds behind him is Dimitri Dematos. Cords third place. And we just heard that John Van Lig is just exiting the pits now after making his pit stop at the end of lap 18 there. Codes in third place. Fourth place is Columbus. Fifth place is Usla. Sixth place is Nelms. Ben Phillips 9, seventh place. Eighth place is Damien Humane. Tumala. Oh, and now Dave Carsmith. Dave Carsmith comes into the pits. Let's see how long that takes for him. I'm going to watch Dimitri Dematos and Henning Codes that Jack was concentrating on.
You focus on Dave.
Yeah, and Dave Carsmith away very quickly. And then where's Henning Codes? Will he catch Dave Carsmith? Oh yes, and Dave Carsmith retains his second place to Henning Codes. So once we get Jack back, Carsmith has retained his position with some blistering laps he must have put in there to maintain that gap. Like I said just before, Jack just left. Carsmith matched Henning Codes there. Yeah. So those four laps that Dave Carsmith stayed ahead of Henning Codes. The tyre graining issue with Codes' car started playing up there and allowed Carsmith to maintain that lead to Codes. Fourth place, Columbus. Fifth place, Usla. Sixth place is Clayton Nelms. Seventh, still Ben Phillips. Damien Daniel brings up eighth place. Tumala in ninth. Cyril Wermuller. And right now, folks, I'm just going to have a quick check and see any close battles on track for you. Oh yes, and there's one already for P5 between Emil Usla and Clayton Nelms. Just about half a second into it as they come into turn 13. Clayton Nelms coming on Usla, going to turn 14, and just a little slide there from Clayton. Now, and he puts the power down. Going to start finish straight now, and he closes in on Emil Usla, but it's still just too far away to even get a toe as he brakes and closes in on him on the braking. Turn 1. Good. And Jack, while you're away, Carsmith maintained his lead, staying at 4 laps there.
Yep, so once again, I'm talking out of my brown as Dave Carr-Smith holds on to that second position. And, well, he stayed up 4 laps longer, which was enough in the end, I think, to make that hold on to that position. So De Matos leads.
As he stopped and there's the red light on his dash.
Quite a while, quite a further back, and
oh, Jack, the bus is about to go for 7th place now between Phillips and Damien Denhumain. Has Phillips made a pit stop yet? Let me just quickly check, because last time we talked about it, he hadn't made one. I'll quickly check for you, Jack.
Yep, the battle is certainly going on. I remember Dave Carr-Smith apparently nearly hit the wall, say the eyes in the back of my head, which is Sean Stroud. But Dane Humane and Phillips are certainly close together as they come across the line. Now, I don't believe Phillips has stopped. I think Brian's just double checking that for us. And that means, well, he's either on a 2-stopper or a 1-stopper. And I would suggest, to maintain this pace with Dane Humane, he would be on a 2-stopper, which would see him coming in maybe lap 25, 22 or 23, something like that. So soonish, which would explain his quick pace that he is able to maintain at the moment. Brian, any luck?
Yes, no, Phillips hasn't stopped yet. Domain has stopped on... he had a 1:39 on lap 30, but he had a 21 as well on lap 12, so he's lost a good chunk of time there. So probably he would have leapfrogged over Ben Phillips there for those 2 mistakes, but he's back in. Dane Domain is doing 19s right now. But yes, Phillips seems to be stretching this one out. I think he did a similar thing in Nuremberg, Jack. I can't remember exactly the details, but looking good for Ben Phillips. One time 14th on the grid, now up to 7th. Back to you, Jack.
Yep, he's certainly driving nicely again today, Ben Phillips, as Clayton Nelms comes in for I could have sworn he's already been in the pits there. Let's have a little look. Clayton, yeah, he came in on lap 16. So
now, what's happened there? It can't be a drive-through, no way.
Unless it's a stop-go penalty, unless he's accidentally cut a chicane somewhere.
Yeah, was that 3 laps ago? I'll check. Okay, I'll quickly check and see if it was 3 laps ago or not, Jack.
That's the only thing I can think of, is that he's got it wrong and had to cut a chicane somewhere, and the game has given him a drive-through stop-go penalty. Scott Wilde is into the pits as well now. Pablo Tassino, for all his weaving and ducking and diving and dipping and dodging, is now back down in 16th and running last. And Phil Roberts has just come into the pits as well, so it's all going off here. But at the lead, in the lead, is very, very comfortable for Dimitri De Matos. He's now got a 7-second lead over Dave Carr-Smith, who in turn has a 5-second lead over Henning Kords.
Okay, and Ben Phillips, Jack, in the pits. Ben Phillips makes his pit stop. And we're hearing, Jack, that Robert Fix is actually on a 1-stop strategy. But right now, he's in 14th place, so his lap times are in the 21s. So, I'm not sure that's going to really help him, but something to watch out for coming towards the end of the race, Jack. We keep an eye on Robert Fakes there. Jack, back to you, mate.
I don't give you information.
Yep. Absolutely. I just heard someone's voice, who I don't know who it was, but anyway. Yes, Rob Fakes, nothing to lose down in 14th place. It was definitely a stop-go penalty for Clayton Nelms, but we're yet to see.
I think he's ran wide several times at the exit of turn 11 and at the exit of turn 4.
Okay, so it sounds like he's run wide several times at the exit of turn 11 and the exit of turn 4, and I presume then that the race director has then given him a stop-go penalty? Or Oh, the game. Oh, there's in-game cutting on the exits there. So that's what befell Clayton Nelms, which has seen him drop from 3rd place all the way down to 11th. So when I say drop, I mean plummet.
And Buatilla has a DNF, Jack. We heard earlier on he was just stopped on the track. It wasn't fuel because the game would have told us. So DNF for Buatilla. I'll have 4 to finish on the podium. DNF as well on lap 14. Peter Egberts, Alberto Dewan and Danny Roberts all DNF'd. 1 lap behind everybody else is Phil Roberts. But sorry folks, the race is now panning out and everybody's stretching. The closest battle is between Ben Phillips, I think, and Clayton Nelms as they approach the chicane of turn 6 and 7, and that's got a 2-second gap. Oh, and Clayton makes a mistake. So what's happened to his car now as he comes into turn 10? He's now all the way under the grass there again and coming to 11. Oh, he's gone slightly wide. And they approach turn 12. Tight. Oh, he's gone wide again and he strides off there, Jack. Oh, look at him. He's really going ragged right now, Jack.
Yep, and he's also going very slowly. There was a battle further back between Tassino and Rob Fakes, but Tassino has made it through as Dimitri Dematos lapped him. A very opportunistic piece of driving from Tassino, but certainly Clayton Nelms is all over the shop and has now dropped quite a way off the back of Ben Phillips. So can Dave
Oh, Jack! There's a battle for 12th place. Sorry to cut into you, I beg your pardon. But Wild is right behind Hoffman as they come into the last corner. Turn 14, and he's right behind him, Jack, and he must get a tow here onto the gas early. Let's see, let's ride with Wild as he closes. Oh, but Hoffman must have a lighter, skinnier rear wing there, Mike, because he stayed well out of Jack Wild's, couldn't pick up a tow there.
Yep, name confusion aside, I'll let you go through that. Buatilla retired because he got penalised for ignoring blue flags, it seems. So he's obviously parked it at the side of the road, had a little strop, and then pressed escape. I would imagine something like that. But Hoffman and Wild though, and Wild's going to look at me. Couldn't see that one coming, could you? What a crazy move from Scott Wild. And well, he's going to have to bide his time a little bit. And well, in fact, this time might be now. He'll look to the inside, won't get through there on that left-hander.
Yeah, mistake there by Hoffman.
Yep, he's looking ragged, and Wild is looking a little ragged too. And Wild will have to now wait until he's gone wide there, almost into the wall. And yeah, Brian.
Yeah, the battle ensuing here, but Hoffman make a mistake coming out of the chicane down turn 7. I think he just ran over the high curb there and just lost traction and allowed Scott Wild to close on him, but Wild couldn't capitalise on that. But now Hoffman has now pulled out almost a second on Wild as they come down into turn 1. Both now approaching turn 2, but not really any close enough right now to make any impression onto Hoffman. Is definitely out of the dirty air turbulence from Wild. So I'm just going to give people a rundown again, Jack, of our top 10. DDM leading by 6.9 seconds. Oh, Scott Wild going right there again, sorry. Oh, he spins! Scott Wild spins coming out of turn 5 there, Jack. Probably the only exciting thing at the moment on track. So that was that. Anyway, Dimitri Dematos now leading by 7 seconds, Jack, from DCS. Henning Coates 5 seconds further back. In 4th place, Columbus 2 seconds further back. And quite a distance now is Emil Usla in 5th place. Damien Dane who remains 6th place. Closely followed by Tomala. Yeah, Tomala is in 7th place. Cyril Wemula is closing on Tomala out of turn 4 into turn 5. So that's a battle we're going to keep you posted. And 9th place is John Van de Gies, closing on both Wemula and Tomala. So that's going to be interesting in a few laps' time. Phillips, now after making his pit stop, is now in 10th place. And that's it. Clayton Nelms, of course, is in 11th place. I'll go down the order as well, just to fill in some time. taking names in 11th, Hoffman in 12th place, Scott Wilde now dropping back 5 seconds to Hoffman, in 14th place, 1 lap down is Tassano, in 15th place is Phil Roberts, who we understand is no, it's the other guy, Robert Fakes. In 16th place is on a one-stop strategy. Oh, and I say that Scott Wilde, he's back on my screen. He's back on track. He's just been overtaken by Dimitri Dematros, so he's now a lap down to Dematros.
Yep, he probably moved over to let him through there, Briand, as comes through the turn 11 down into turn 12. It's not being a good day. In fact, 15th and 16th, it's a Formula Racing Organisation battle. They're having a absolutely dreadful day out there, Formula Racing Organisation. 15th and 16th, stone dead last. And well, this is a surprise because we saw them perform pretty well earlier, well, last race at Nürburgring, but for some reason they are absolutely sucking around Hungary so far. He's nearly hit his teammate.
Contact.
He's nearly hit his teammate.
Oh dear me!
What's going on?
Oh again! What's happening here? Oh, he's let him go.
Well, as Roberts let him through, I wonder if Roberts has just thought, "Stop doing that, you complete nutcase."
Now, Jack's. Now, sorry to interject there, Jack, but I remember Robert Fakes in Melbourne. In Melbourne, I remember being alongside Lamy commentating on this, and he almost won the actual race. So I don't know what's happened to Robert Fakes. Has dropped down. I don't know if it's just he hasn't been given good setups or whatever. I really don't know. We must talk to the team boss, Michael Lamb, later on and ask him what's happening there, because it's a bit of a transformation, Jack, isn't it, to be almost winning and on the pace in Melbourne to 9 races later on, back of the grid.
Yep, they've pretty much done a brawn, to be honest.
Okay.
And further back later in the season, as Tassano has crashed again. What a nutcase! He's in the wall, and I think he collided with another car.
Oh, Damien who mainly collected him then to turn 14. Tassano, watch your mirrors, dude.
Yeah, he collected Mindegau's Columbus somehow. So Tassano, he's gone a little bit crazy today. I don't recall him being this mental in previous races. As Rob Fakes comes through, this is for position. Oh! This is going to be dangerous with two nutjobs racing each other as they come down into turn 2. Tassano and Rob Fakes.
Robert spins.
Meanwhile,
he spun
and he spun at turn 2. But now Fakes versus Tassano. Here we go up the hill through turn 4. Fakes hugs the inside line, and now through turn 5, that's what's coming for, isn't it? And yeah, Van der Geest and Vermeulen, in fact, are pretty close as well in the battle for 8th position. Yeah, let's stick with that battle for 8th position, because I think Tassano is probably going to spin at some point, so that'll take the excitement off. In fact, what's happened to Vermeulen? He's dropped back a little bit. He was right behind the gearbox for a moment there.
And they've closed on Tomala, 7th, 8th and 9th, right close to getting the same picture there, Jack, as they're coming to turn 13 there.
Yep, they sure are. 15th position, side by side, Rob Fakes and Tassano. Let's cut to that quickly. 14th and 15th, Tassano and Rob Fakes. Fakes has the inside line down into turn 1, and Tassano, he's gone in deep, and Fakes takes the position. And Tassano, can he respond down into turn 2? Let's see if he goes for a crazy lunge. Crazy lunge!
Oh my goodness me!
Tassano gets sideways, as does Rob Fakes. Well, Fakes somehow stays ahead in position, but in fact he's run wide there. Into turn 5 they come. Tassano looking a little bit wobbly at the rear end there, actually. Maybe
it's got to be lag, Jack. it's got to be lag. You know, it's still over 300, nearly 400 millisecond ping there. Because look how close like you said, he literally lunged into Robert Fakes there. Wow! I don't know if he's not seen where his car is on track.
That battle for Tumala, Job van der Geest and Cyril Vermeulen are now about to lap Tassano, or is it Patrick DeWitt? We're not entirely sure here. We're thinking, looking at the driving style, it may be DeWitt. But as they come to the final corner now, Tassano and Rob Fakes are going to have to yield to Mikael Tumala and Job van der Geest. Tassano moves to the inside, but he might just be weaving again. We'll have to wait and see. Van der Geest has got a toe. They pass turn one. Job van der Geest. You're right, Brian. Job van der Geest hangs on to the outside. Cyril Vermeulen is now right up with Job van der Geest. He looks to the outside into turn 2, but can't brake late enough. Tumala's gone in deep into turn 2. Will that give Job van der Geest a run? Hang on around the outside of turn 3. That's scary stuff. Cyril Vermeulen's going to get a slipstream, but there's not going to be anywhere to pass into turn 4. There's almost a little bit of across the grass there. And who's that? Heading Cords!
Heading Cords! Oh my goodness me!
That means Mindergas Columbus is up to 3rd place. Job van der Geest, Mikael Tumala and Cyril Vermeulen are stuck together pretty much as they come through the 2 corners that make up a chicane. And what am I saying?
My goodness, Jack!
Now through turns 10 and now 11. It's van der Geest and Tumala who are the closest. Vermeulen's run a little bit wide, but all their battling means that they haven't caught up with Rob Fakes yet. And indeed, Henning Cords has recovered enough to join this battle. Now, Henning Cords, that'll be fascinating.
Four-way battle!
Exactly, that's those were the words I were going to use, because Henning Cords is going to be faster than these 3. And we're on board now with Henning Cords as we exit the final corner. Let's ride on board and see if we can see how this battle is developing in front of us. Emery Usal's just come out the pits to our right as we break down into turn 1. There's Cyril Vermeulen in front of us. The blue car in front of that is Job van der Geest. And on the left-hand side, Rob Fakes is moving over. Good work there from Rob Fakes to allow this battle to continue. Henning taking quite a lot of curb on the inside there. I think he will be closing in on Cyril Vermeulen before long as they come up to turn 4. Tumala and van der Geest are close together. Vermeulen's run a little bit wide there in front of us. Now we're going to hug the inside line. You can see how much better Henning Cords is at taking that line as they come down into the chicane. Now, Cords right up behind Cyril Vermeulen. But the thing is, Cords is a real proper front runner. He's going to bide his time. He'll know where the overtaking opportunity is, and he'll try and line Vermeulen up. Tumala's making a bit of a break for this as they come through turn 11 now. He will be thinking about the pass already. But I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough for Cyril Vermeulen. Well, I tell you what, he might be. Oh, he's run a little bit wide on the exit of that corner as they come down into the slow turn 12. And exit speed is important. Now, will Cords go wide in? And Vermeulen pits! But van der Geest and Tumala have gone wide in front. Van der Geest and Tumala is now a battle for 4th place. Van der Geest looks to the inside. Tumala squeezes him, just about gives him enough room as they head down into turn 1. Will van der Geest be late on the brakes? He is. Tumala's held it around the outside, but van der Geest gets on the power fraction earlier, but Tumala holds the position as they come down into turn 2. Van der Geest up the inside, and he might make that move stick, you know.
He did! On the grass!
Henning Cords around the outside, can't make it through turn 4, and here's Emre Usal's fitted, I'm sure. You're not alright, Brian. As they come through, Henning Cords looks up the inside of Tumala now, and crumbs, look at this. Job van der Geest is starting to pull away a little bit. D'Amato still out in the lead, by the way, with Carl Smith in 2nd, Mindergaard's Columbus 3rd, blah, 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 blah. But it's Henning Cords and Emre Usal who are going at it ding-dong merrily on high right now, Brian.
Oh, absolutely, dude, absolutely. Oh, and it's like closing on Henning Cords into turn 12, coming to turn 13. Cords right behind, and Ursula again the same frame picture shot as Cords pulls away into turn 14. They turn, and they put on the gas now. Floors it and leaves some rubber there, and he's closing in. He's going to get a toe from Tumala as he goes defensive straight away, and he comes back over again, and he's just not close enough. And like you said, Jack, van der Geest has pulled out a bit of a lead there. Coming out of turn 1, turn 2, he goes wide. Is he going to start getting this defensive from Usa Usal, sorry, I can't pronounce his name properly. Sorry, put my teeth back in. And then turn 3, Codes again, down the power, come to turn 4. Let's see his line here. Very well done onto the cuts the curb, and he closes on the braking to Tamala. Tamala's doing very well, but look, Jack up in front. Columbus is now in this podium seat, back with this battle for 5th place, and definitely Van der Geest is now streaking away, putting out another 2-second gap now.
in the pits.
Dave Carr-Smith is into the pits now from 2nd position. Now, of course, he was battling mainly with Henning Cords, but he, of course, doesn't have that to worry about anymore. It's a bit of an early pit stop there, Dave. He will have one more to make then. It will be a 3-stop strategy, and he's gone several laps early, apparently, to... well, I shan't reveal that, just in case...
In the pits! Tamala in the pits, Jack!
Job Van der Geest is in the pits. Tumala is in the pits as well. Job Van der Geest should get out in front, barring any problems. Indeed, he's already left his pit box and will pootle past Tumala now. And there goes Tumala, and they're going to be close with Cyril Verdmuller, actually. Verdmuller coming down the pit straight now. Has Verdmuller pitted? I'm not sure, but he's going to try and go around the outside of Job Van der Geest. Not going to make it through. Van der Geest will have super sticky tyres as they come down into turn 2 now. Verdmuller lines again. Almost touched there. But
Verdmuller pitted a lap ago, Jack.
Yeah, Verdmuller pitted a lap ago, of course. So this is 4th position. And Job Van der Geest will be over the moon that he managed to get out in front of Cyril Verdmuller. Henning Cords and Emre Usal have still got the pit, so that'll be interesting. Matos has pitted. Dimitri Matos has pitted. So so that means that Roaldo have reacted to that. They've counterstruck. Yeah, that's right. Counterstruck Dave Carr-Smith in his attempt to pit early. Ben Phillips is coming into the pits, so I thought he was on a 2-stop strategy there, so I thought he would have gone a little bit longer, so unless he's really struggling with the tyres or something, I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, perhaps he switched over to a different strategy. Oh, and Van der Geest just goes past on Wormwell as well. Oh, drops Ben down to 10th place at the moment, Jack.
Yep, you're not wrong there, Brian. As they all start to filter out and calm down again. Scott Wilde has been off the track again, so there's a couple of drivers today who are having a bit of a shocker, Brian.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, at the beginning it was a bit exciting, then we were lulled, it's starting to get boring, and suddenly we've had battles left, right and centre. So, all good entertaining stuff, Jack, for us, not getting bored, and for the drivers themselves, their heart must be pounding and making us very excited as well.
Ryan is a bit distorted. I will say that when hearing his voice compared to like others in here.
Okay, folks, back with the battle for 4th place between Kenny Codes and Usal in 5th place, and they approach turn 12, late braking, and Emil closes right up Jack on Henning there, turn 13. Oh, Kenny's starting to, must be tyre problems because he's starting to slide all over the place, Jack. Let's say he goes into turn 14. Oh, he holds a tighter line that time. And Usal on the gas there. Oh, a little twitch there from Henning Codes. And Usal's right behind him now, but I don't think he's going to be able to get close enough to get a toe from Henning Koz, but it just shows Henning Koz that he's there by stepping out there, Jack.
Yep, he absolutely is. We've heard rumours that there have been volume imbalances between us, so we've tried to sort that out. Let us know if it's still not any good. So Henning Koz and Emre Usal are battling over this 4th position. Now when they pit, they may come out in the realm of Tumala, Verdmuller and Job van der Geest, but I think, and in fact, Usal's got a bit of a run on Henning Koz. Henning Koz has got on the grass, but Usal knows that there's no room to pass through there. So Usal coming through turns 10 and now heading towards turn 11.
Yeah, Koz has gapped him now, Jack. He's gapped him.
Yeah, he's dropped back a bit as Emre Usal. Dematos still leading. We've got 30 laps to go here at the Hungaroring, and it looks like Emre Usal and Henning Koz is the closest battle at this present time, and it could be quite a good one and quite an important one, of course, because it is for a high running place.
Okay, let's run through the top 10. In fact, the whole field, Jack. DDM leading Dave Carsmith by 13.5 seconds. In good third place for Mendukas Columbus. In 3rd place, Henning Koz that we're watching right now. 4th place with Emre Usal. 5th place. As they go through, oh, he made a mistake there, and Usal's got right up into 5th place there, Jack. Sorry, you take over, Jack.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Henning Koz made a mistake on the exit of turn 4, but again, there was nowhere for Usal to get through, so it looks as though Henning Koz is a little more ragged than Emre Usal, but as is the nature of this Hungaroring, Murray Walker called it Monaco without the houses, I think, something like that, as they come through turn 11 now and head down into turn 12. And see, Usal's really hooking up the apexes a lot better than Henning Koz. In fact, Henning Koz is looking downright scrappy as they come through the final corner there. And, well, Usal will try and pick up a slip, and he keeps moving out of the slip, and that's a bit interesting because although he's obviously not close enough to get a toe to take him past, he is close enough to get a toe to give him a little bit extra straight line speed, so I'm not sure why he's avoiding that.
Oh, no!
Spins into the wall! There goes his front wing, there into the Armco, and will he reverse out of that? Yes, he will. He's going to drop down the order like a stone in a river, to use a terrible analogy. He just got on the power too soon out of turn 1. And he's in the wall, and he's got no front wing. He's going to drop down the order, and he'll be lucky to get points now, I think. That's an absolute disaster for Henning Koz.
Oh dear, and Ben Phillips goes blast past him up into turn 4. Jack, quickly, do you know if Henning Koz is using traction control? Are they allowed to? I'm not I can't remember exactly, but he's just too happy on that gas pedal there. He's really, oh gosh, he's really disastrous a stroke for Koz, oh dear, and he was doing so well, Jax.
Yep, he was. I think they might be allowed low traction control.
Oh, look, Jack! Sorry, the battle for 3rd place. What happened to Columbus? Emre Usta's right behind him. Less than a second.
Yeah,
wow.
Columbus must have made a mistake as well as they come. In fact, I think I saw Columbus spinning out of turn 1 just before, and Columbus has got ship shape and out of fashion as they come through turn 1 now. Usal will want to take the position away as soon as possible. This, of course, is a bit of a recovery drive from Usal now. Gets the cut back, but it's not going to be enough to take him through up to turn 4. He will already be planning his move down into turn 1 as they come through turn 4 now. He'll be trying to line up his prey. They were closing in. Columbus has gone wide, and Usal's a lot more planted. But will he be able to find a way past Columbus, where he couldn't find a way past Henning Koz until Koz made a mistake? Columbus made a mistake on the last lap, and he lost. Let's have a little butchers. 9 seconds on the last lap he lost. So that's where all that time went, was a spin in turn 1. So Usal chasing Columbus down into turn 12. And Usal will want to strike while the iron's hot, I would have imagined.
Jack, I remember when there was a four-way battle a few laps ago when you mentioned that Usal was coming out of the pit, so he's on fresh rubber, so really he's doing very well.
Yep, Henning Cords is in the pits now as we see the replay of him just getting on the power too soon. And in fact, he's coming out right in front of Emre Usal, so he's lost an entire lap there.
Wow.
So utter disaster. It doesn't look like Usal is close enough to get past Columbus either.
But going back, I remember when Giovanni gives us a four-way battle about 4 or 5 laps ago, Usal was coming out of the pits there, and now he's really motoring, so he's on fresher rubber. That's probably why he was really hounding Henning Cords, and I would give credit to Usal for rattling Henning Cords there. Maybe that's why he went on the gas too early, come out of turn 1, and now he's doing the same thing to Columbus now on fresher rubber right now, and he's really using the tyres. Maybe set up his other set of tyres is just working for him immensely, Jack.
Yep, it certainly looks pretty hooked up, but Columbus isn't driving a bad race at all as they head down into turn 12 again. So it looks like these two were battling. I think they've both got one more pit stop to make, I predict. Yeah, it won't be any more than that. So this is definitely the battle for the final podium place, Brian.
Okay. Oh.
Emre Usal then is using more boost, which basically means he's letting his engine run to a higher rev limit compared to Mindegar's Columbus, which will give him more speed but will also endanger him of an engine failure. So risky game played by Usal, and he's not really closing now on Columbus. Their lap times seem to have leveled out, and he seems to have settled in this, what is it, a second gap between them.
Yeah, with 25 to go now, he better be careful and start turning that boost down, because we don't want him to have an engine blow up. Right now we haven't had any brake failures either, and this track really isn't that notorious for brake fray, Jack, is it?
No, not too bad. There's only really one big stop at the end of the start-finish straight. Apart from that, most of the and Ben Phillips and Mikael Tumala. Look at that, 7th position, battling hard here. Phillips looking to the outside, and to the inside. Little dart there, very clever from Ben Phillips. Sold him the dummy a treat, but now he should get a tow down the start-finish straight. Tumala defends. Goes right to the inside line. There's no way Bennett Phillips is coming through there. Oh, Tumala's coming to squeeze.
No.
No problems there as Will Phillips get the cut back down to turn 2. Maybe squeezed him a little too much than would be polite. Not 100% sure about that. Now he's launched up the inside. And he's going to try and get a slipstream now as they steam up the hill. Drop a couple of gears for this left-hander. Phillips will be suffering in the understeer here a bit, Brian.
Most definitely, as the dirty effect, aerodynamics loses aerodynamics and the dirty air there, and it's closing them again now. So, going back again, Jack, what you said about oh, sorry, I just had a brain fade there for a second, folks. Sorry about this. When I forgot who it was now, was darting out and not getting a slipstream. Was it because his engine was getting overheated? Oh, and look now, and Ben Phillips challenging for turning Tumala to turn 12. He's right behind him now again, Jack, as I approach turn 13. And he's taking a really tighter, nice tight line there on the gas hard. 3rd gear, 4th gear. Coming in now, right behind him, but Tumala gets on the gas earlier and pulls out 2 car lengths just before Ben can only put the gas on, and then he goes defense again in the middle of the track now. Ben Phillips closes on him, and he darts out to the left, and Ben Phillips shows him and gives a little wiggle there. And turn 1 on the gas early. Now will he sell him a dummy? Right behind Tumala, but stays behind. Oh, and very late braking there from Ben Phillips. Coming down to turn 3. pulling 3.93 Gs there, up to 10.4. And look here, Jack. Tamala pulls slightly away from Ben Phillips because of that dirty aerodynamics wash there. Back to you, Jack.
Yep, certainly does. Phillips is looking a bit quicker at the moment, but as we've seen throughout the race, it's one thing to get this far behind, and then another to make it past, as Usal and Columbus have demonstrated, because they're still about a second apart in the battle for third place. So, but Ben Phillips is looking quite racy compared to Mikael Tumala. Through the penultimate corner, and there's only 3/10 now between Columbus and Usal as they cross the line, and now they exit up the hill. And again Usal has been this close for quite a few laps. It's going to take a mistake from Columbus to allow him to get through, or some good strategy in the pit stops. Which do you think is more likely to happen, Brian?
I think he's really harrying Columbus now. Probably Columbus is really watching his mirrors, and he's going to probably make a mistake. But the problem is, will the life of his engine, Emil Usal's engine, will that last the constant pounding? Unless he had the wick down a lot earlier in the race, now he's turning it up, it might last him a bit longer. But I think he's trying to play some psychological game now with Mendukas Columbus right now. Look, he's really hounding him again as they come up into turn 14, Jack. They take a tighter line there. Columbus on the gas earlier and just pulls away. And look again now. Usal just pulls over to the right there. Now, is it because his engine is going to get overheated if he stays too close to Columbus? That's what I think that the mod does that, Jack. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember watching one of the WC races, and the commentators were oh, he's right behind him now, coming down to turn 3 where Mansell took Senna years ago. Oh, and he's put a little bit of a gap there again as they come up the hill. The blind, my favourite bend on the circuit, and he closes in again on turn 5. He just closes, Jack, but there's no way for him to overtake him at the moment. So he's got to be very careful. But I think he's playing mind games, trying to outwit Columbus into missing. But Columbus must hand it to him, respect to him. He's really have nerves of steel. And look, he's pulling away from Usal right now. Coming to turn 11, Jack. Back over to you, mate.
Yep, this battle is being is mirrored by Tumala and Ben Phillips, who are coming through the chicane now at turns 6 and 7, 8 left-hander, 9 right-hander, and then 10 will be this left-hander. And again, it's a similar situation, Brian. Ben Phillips just can't get close enough to Tumala to attempt the pass as they come down into turn 12. And well, as you can see, Phillips really struggling to get through.
Yeah, this is definitely a track where you got the slow speed corners and get onto the power early. So it's more less of an aerodynamic track, more of a more mechanical grip track, Jack, as we see Ben Phillips right behind Tumala again, and he decides to stay right behind him, and he gets a toe now, pulls out, but not close enough. Ben, you've got to be a lot closer coming out to the last corner there to really freak Mr. Tumala out, I'm afraid there. But definitely both the like you said, mirroring the effect between Columbus and Usal coming to turn 3. Oh, and he's a lot closer this time, Jack. Let's see the dirty effect of the aerodynamics. Oh yes, and he's really close now. It's turn 5. He took a look there, Jack, into turn 5. Oh, and Tumala rightfully just shut the door in his face. Jack, back to you.
Yep, the cheeky little pokey nose up the inside from Ben Phillips, but I think he knew nothing was going to come of that. He's going to have to try and get closer through this series of turns, and Tumala's made a small mistake onto the grass, but as you can see, he's managed to pull the gap out for 6/10 of a second, 5 or 6/10 of a second. Oh, Ben Phillips has run wide there, and that's going to ruin any chance he had on this lap, and potentially knock the momentum out of him. So could be a costly mistake there for Ben Phillips. It's cost him half a second or so.
Yeah, it takes me back to 1990, the beginning of the show. We're talking about Terry Boutsen, back in the days when he's very sticky, soft qualifying tyres. put his Williams on pole position in 1990 in this track, filled the car up to the brim with petrol. At the end of the race, his tyres were shot and his braking was shot, but no one could pass him. No one could pass him on the track. Especially, we had a very tight. It was more twisted than this in those days, Jack. Turn 3, turned sharp right, and then left again. So they didn't have that speed going through turn 3. It was all very, very Mickey Mousey. And I remember turns between 11 and 12, there was a bit of a chicane. Oh, and look! And Usta taps into Ben Roberts, and look! Van der Geest is coming to the party and he's overtaken. Oh no! And look, Usta is going to the pits. I think the schedule stopped there, but he had a coming together, Jack, with a back marker there, Phil Roberts, and that's allowed Job Van der Geest to move up into 4th place. Back to you, Jack. Wow.
Yeah, it certainly has. Van der Geest closed in on them, back markers or not. He closed in on them fantastically well. Let's have a look and see as Emre Usau comes out the pits. He will be in front of Mikhail Tumala. And Henning Cords has just gone through, but of course he's a lapped car, so he'll let Usau straight back through. So Job Van der Geest now is up into contention for a podium as well. De Matos and Dave Smith still chortling their way to a 1st and 2nd, I think. But,
I was going to check the lap times between Van der Geest and Columbus, Jack. I'll be right back.
Okay. Indeed. So, Columbus and Job Van der Geest are closing in on one another. Cyril Verdmuller is further down the road, so he's not really in contention. It will be interesting to see where have they gone? Where Emre Usau will come back into the thick of things. Someone has spun somewhere on the.
It's turn 14. I missed who it was there, Jack. Scott Weil, we understand, is spinning into turn 14, Jack. Columbus was doing 19s, but he's just responded. Van der Geest is doing low to mid 18s throughout on his stint of tyre he's got, and Columbus has just responded into the 18s now. And Job Van der Geest, like you said, Jack, earlier, it's one thing to catch, one thing to overtake, but let's see if Van der Geest is going to make a better job of harrying and harassing Columbus. Back to you, Jack.
Yep, Cyril Verdmuller has been in the pits, so that's dropped him out of contention. And so, when Columbus and Job Van der Geest pit, that is going to be the battle worth watching, I believe, to see where they come out in comparison to Emre Usau.
I think that they're catching Tosano. They're both catching Tosano. And Columbus and...
God help them.
Wow! So let's see what's going to happen now. Is Tosano... Oh! And Columbus peels off Jack into the pits.
Here we go then. This is going to tell us who's going to be on the podium, depending on how long Job Van der Geest can stay out. Columbus pits, swerves into his pit box, lined aggressively for a good exit. Usau's coming round turn 13 now. This is going to be tight. This is going to be tighter than a tight thing as they come. Usau's coming out the final corner. I think Columbus is going to hold it here. Yep, Columbus holds the position reasonably comfortably, actually. Oh, of course.
Tosano moves over for Van der Geest, Jack. Tosano actually moved over for Van der Geest, so his way is clear. He's marching on. Sorry, Jack, back to you.
Marching on, Job Van der Geest. But of course, I forgot that Usau had that little shenanigan just before his pit stop with the back marker that allowed Van der Geest through. So in actual fact, it'll be Van der Geest versus Columbus for 3rd position, potentially. How long until Job Van der Geest comes into the pits? We have 15 laps remaining, so... it'll be a short final stint and a short fuel, and Henning Cords has, we think, binned it again somewhere. No, he's come into the pits.
I'm reading a DNF, Jack. I'm reading a DNF for Henning Cords at the moment. He must have lost it. I don't know if we can get a replay on that, but he must have had some damage. Sorry, Jack, go on.
He's just driven into the pits and retired. So, like you say, he must have potentially had some damage, or just got a bit fed up of driving around and getting no points. And Scott Wild's gone off the circuit again, and Job Van der Geest It might be brake failure, we're thinking. So he's just parked it for safety reasons, but we can't be 100% sure. So, Job van der Geest is the last of the main front runners to pit. Mikatu Marla is in again. I could have sworn he just pitted. That's a bit curious. And in fact, he's going to come out in front of Ben Phillips. And Dimitri de Matos is in the pits. Race leader into the pits. Well, in fact, Carl Smith isn't even going to be close enough to take the lead. So, and in fact, Carl Smith pits as well. So, and that's those front two sorted, I think.
That's just exactly, definitely, Jack. Van der Geest in the pits, Jack. Van der Geest in the pits, Jack.
Yep, here comes Job van der Geest into the pits. Mindegas Columbus is rounding. He's in a similar position actually to. Oh, I think Van der Geest may have messed that pit lane entry up a bit. Columbus is coming around the final corner now. This is going to be tight,
leaving.
I think.
Good.
And, he's coming down the final pit straight now. Job van der Geest. Is he going to make it? No. Columbus takes the position. So it's as you were at the
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. Do not make any difference at all whatsoever. Bit of a shame, really.
Well, Van der Geest on fresher rubber. Let's see if he's going to make that. Oh, it's only 1 lap difference. So, but Columbus is up to race temperature by now. And he comes to Roberts. Roberts moves over for him. Well done, Phil. And now Van der Geest. Let's see if he's going to carve his way past Roberts. They can't make it before the chicane. Goes through. Oh, lightly over there. Oh, and very good driving by Roberts. He lets him pass. And Job van der Geest now closing on Columbus. Go on,
yeah,
Jack.
he's closing because he's got the fresh tyres, Brian. He's got the fresh tyres. He's closing in on Mindegas Columbus. And let's see how much he can close in before the end of the race. Emre Usal is out of this position, I think, unless Columbus and Van der Geest have a little tango and end up in a wall somewhere. But I don't think Emre Usal will be on the podium today. As much as Hoffman is in the pits, but that's not very interesting. Scott Wild, I've just seen off the circuit again, so he's really.
Oh, Van der Geest closing, Jack.
Yeah, really closing. In fact, in the slipstream into.
Every mistake!
Has gone deep. Van der Geest is going to get alongside. Oh, Columbus, a little bit cheeky there, but he lives to fight another day. Will Van der Geest look at the inside? Oh, yes, he will. Columbus has gone in deep again, and Van der Geest takes the 3rd position away from him, and Columbus's car. Looks like it's handling like a dog after that pit stop.
Naughty, Mindegas. Oh, look, he's closing him to turn 5 again. Oh, wow.
Yep, just what I was thinking as they come down into the chicane. Now, Columbus taking plenty of curb, and Van der Geest has made a bit of a break for this.
Oh, he's darted away now, Jack. He's darted.
Yeah, he's had a very impressive couple of laps here, Job van der Geest. So up to 13th position on the grid. What am I saying? Up to 3rd position in the race.
That's quite remarkable there, Jack, because Van der Geest, I can't remember where he was on the grid, but he was way down. Someone to watch, and he's doing the business. Remember, he's actually one of our race winners. I'll just check exactly which of the tracks he won recently on, Jack.
Yep, well, while you pop off and have a look at that, we'll have a quick run down the order. Dimitri de Matos leads, as he has done from the start. Dave Carl-Smith in 2nd. Job van der Geest, as we just saw, is up to 3rd. 4th, Mindegas Columbus. 5th, Emre Usal. 6th, Cyril Verdmuller. 7th, Mikhail Mala. 8th, Ben Phillips. 9th, Clayton Nelms. 10th, Damien Dane Humane. Oh, disappointing for him. 11th, Marcus Hoffman. 12th, Rob Fates. 13th, Phil Roberts. 14th, Pablo Tassano. And 15th is Scott Wild. And those are the only guys that are running at the moment. So where did Job van der Geest win then, Brian?
In Silverstone, Great Britain, 2 races ago. So he's a race winner. I remember at the beginning, I think it was the beginning of the season, he actually won a race or something, but there's some controversy about him in 2 races, something like that, and he got his points deducted, so he'd have been higher up at the moment. So he's a proven race winner and got some good race pace. I can't for the life of me remember what happened to him at the beginning of the race, Jack. They had a coming together or poor qualifying or whatever it was, but job is usually up in the front running with the big boys usually. So here, third place is good, a good result for him. Albeit that he's a bit further down the pecking order in speed-wise.
And 10th position, Damien Dane Humane and Marcus Hoffman are. Hoffman's just moved over for Emre Usal, in fact, so now he will tuck into the slipstream of Usal and try and catch Dane Humane unawares. If he's lucky, Dane Humane will back off on the start on this run up to turn 4. No, he's not going to be lucky. So that was quite a close battle, but the leaders have gone and ruined it for us as they come through. Dane Humane's gone wide, and is Hoffman going to get a run on him here? Looks up the inside.
No!
Goes Hoffman. Round they
No
both go.
way.
Dane Humane and
No.
Marcus Hoffman both spin, and will Hoffman relinquish that position back to Dane Humane? I mean, to be honest, that's the least he can do. Surely
Definitely,
he
I
will.
agree with you, dude.
He's got Phil Roberts behind him, who I think is a lapped car. Hoffman really needs to. I think if Hoffman lets Dane Humane back through there, he won't get a penalty. But if Hoffman continues, I'm sure he will get a penalty, because that was a nutty move.
Oh, he came so far behind there. Wow, almost like a T-bow. Oh, he's got some damage. He's coming to the pits. Is he trying to serve a drive-through penalty, Jack? I remember the old days at FSR. If you did had a problem with somebody, if you did a drive-through, they wouldn't give you a penalty. Is that what Hoffman is trying to do here? Let's see.
Well, it looks like it, Brian. It looks like your eternal wisdom is absolutely spot on. You hope to avoid penalty.
Well,
by missing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. I suppose we can let him off the hook there, but it was still a very, very highly unlikely, dubious overtaking maneuver into that chicane. Back to you, Jack.
We'll get a replay of that in a minute. In fact, it was Marcus Hoffman who had a couple of incidents at the Nürburgring in which he came on MSN and apologised about to me because I slated him a little bit there. So he came on and apologised for the moves, but I'm sure he'll probably apologise for that one too, because I could see where he was coming from. He was trying to take advantage of the situation, but ultimately he wasn't quite close enough.
Yeah, I think that was it. Top marks for trying to take an opportunity. He tried to do a Manson on Senna there, but it just didn't come off for him there. So, well, he saw this drive-through penalty. Let's hope nothing happens to him. But yes, you're quite right. Nuremberg, he had a bit of an issue there. And I remember me having a go at him in the interview, asking him afterwards what I think he was doing. When he came back onto the track, I nearly caused the leaders a bit of an altercation there, Jack. But yes, anyway. Run through, how many laps have we got now? Oh, 10 to go, Jack, 10 to go. The VDM, followed by Dave Carr-Smith, Van de Gees in third place, Columbus 4 seconds behind in fourth place. Usal, trying to close on Columbus, but I don't know if he's going to have enough laps left to catch him. Sixth place is Wemmuller. That's a very good result for Wemmuller and Jack. Tomala, who's giving us quite a good fun moments, in seventh place. Ben Phillips, 8th from 15th, I think he started, so he probably reasonably pleased Jack with that, although he came fourth last race on a similar strategy. Clayton Nelms, Clayton Nelms is a lap down, Jack. Wow, in 9th place, and running up the top 10 is Damien Dane Humane. Jack, back to you, mate.
It's been quite a day for incidents, that's for sure. Certainly, Clayton Nelms, Damien Dane, Humane were all running towards the front-ish of the grid. So, unfortunately, Henning Codes, remember? Yeah, yep, that's a good one as well. So, only DeMatos and Carl Smith have really kept their noses clean all race.
Yeah, we're just going back to the beginning of the race when Carl Smith was battling with DeMatos, but then we heard he had some tyre problems. And did I hear right? He was having someone PMing him or texting him or talking, and it must have lost his distraction, and that allowed DeMatos to pull away from him. And we've never seen De Matos and Carl Smith closer again, even in the pit stops, Jack, have we?
No. It looks, yeah, that could have cost Carl Smith the race a little bit. I mean,
has Osal made a mistake because Hoffman's right behind him, although he's a lap down? Oh, nearly takes Hoffman, nearly barges into Emery, and Emery's in problem. Is the problem? Is it? Oh! What happened? I don't understand what happened there.
I'd imagine his brakes are going to be gone. Oh, that's not a good place to be parked.
Brakes!
He's had to retire.
Oh no!
Brakes. Well, we were saying it's a day for underachievers, and Emery Usal really should have done better today, but a mixture of unfortunate circumstances and brake wear have cost him. So he did the right thing to press escape from that curious position that he was in, but that's bad news indeed for Emery Usal.
And Ben Phillips is slowing. Ben Phillips is slow. Oh, he's letting the leader go by. Sorry, I thought for a second Ben Phillips. Now, Jack, if you remember last year, De Matos won this race. Remember, Dave Carl Smith, was it engine or brake failure he had, and someone pushed him back all the way over the start-finish line? I don't know if you can recollect that, but that was one of the most memorable moments of last year. And I don't know if people are now starting to have brake failure. I don't know if we're going to get a repeat performance, but let's quite amusing if we do. But people are going to be watching very carefully this long race, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. Clayton Nelms is in for a long pit stop here.
Over 30 seconds, Jack.
Wall or something. Yeah, over 30 seconds. I wonder if he's been in the wall, perhaps on previous laps. He's going to come out in 10th position.
Wow, that was a long piece of definitely for Well, Jack, we've got. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
No, you go on.
No, I was just about to say, we're going to get a replay soon, but after the replay, Damien Humane parked on the side of the road there, come up to turn 4, Jack. What I was about to say is, after the replay that we get, Jack, could you probably take us with the leader through a flying lap, please? Oh, and Damien has engine problems, our first retirement with engine problems, Jack. Back to you, mate.
Yep, engine problems, retired Damien Humane. So the runners are dropping like flies with only, 4 or 5 laps to go, actually. Yeah, only 4 or 5 laps to go. So Dane Humane is the latest retirement. De Matos is coming through the final corners now. Then let's go for an onboard lap with Dimitri De Matos, your race leader, and see how hard he's pushing in these final few laps. We're on board with it now as he exits the final corner. Now heads down the start-finish straight. He's shifting very early, obviously taking it easy. He'll reach about 184 miles an hour, 185 I think he got to before braking heavily down into second gear, then down into, no, just stays in second gear. Now this is turn 2. It's very typical of this track. It's a long 180 degree sort of corner. Exits it nicely, flat out through turn 3, and now here comes turn 4. Now look if you can see the apex, look when you can see it, there it is, then you point your car in and stamp on the throttle and hope the back end doesn't go away from you, as it did for Aleph Botts. Remember him? Yeah, he was in this race, he started second on the grid back in the day, and we've just come through the chicane and now through the left and right. This is my maybe not favourite complex, but it's crucial to the lap times, as now the flat out very fast right-hander at turn 11. That's Phil Roberts in the Formula Racing Organisation car that we can see in front of us. No doubt he'll be moving over for us soon. Mathis almost slides the car through that final corner, and he's driving very nicely and is no way pushing. And Clayton Nelms, what on earth has happened to Clayton Nelms? He's beached on a on the... Has his engine got... Yep, he's on fire.
Engine, I can hear it, Jack. I can hear it.
Clayton
His
now
engine is definitely
burst
gone.
into flames. So he is out of the race. I don't know why he's still sitting on the track like that. A bit
Yeah, I haven't got my
curious.
graphics
And now he
settings high, Jack, to see the flames or not. I could actually hear the flames there, yeah. Wow, what a time. Thank you for that on-board lap with Dimitri Dematos, Jack. Brilliant. Thank you very much, sir.
And here's the replay of Damien Dane Humane's engine going. It just blows, basically. Nothing too complex about it, and he parks it on the exit of turn 3. And that's that, really, Brian.
Jack, engines again. I don't know how you test your engine. Okay, I think we did speak about it last time when you said you did it, but aren't these guys thinking to turn the wick down, coming to this crucial moment in the race with like what, 4 or 5 laps now to go? And yeah, 4 laps to go. I thought maybe from 10 laps they start turning the wick down a bit. Did these guys just forget, or had they overstretched the engines and stretched it out so much that it's going to give up the ghost anyway?
Well, it is easy to forget, and you end up running the whole race with boost 1. You think, oh crumbs, I should probably turn that down a little bit. But I think a lot of it is these guys are pushing. They want to catch the guy in front, so they'll risk, especially someone like Clayton, who was hardly, well up the order. He was, where was he, sort of 9th, 8th, something like that, and he wants to push for the extra points, and he probably thinks it's worth taking the risk to push the engine that little bit further. And here is the replay of Clayton Nelms, actually, and we'll see his engine blow up just on the exit of turn 12, and then he parks it in the pit lane, and Pablo Tassano, oh yeah, he retired a while ago, but he's actually left the field.
But Jack, okay, he takes a risk. They take a risk, like you say. I'm not trying to prove you wrong or argue with you, but I would think after 65 laps of hard-on laps, you want to just be careful, at least nurse the car home, than try and go for glory. And maybe it's my old age sticking there and just trying to make sure I finish the race. But wow, these guys must be really fuming and upset with themselves. I remember Rasmus Tally, before he actually won his first race, I've seen him in few races, but before 4 or 5 last season, leading the race or up in second place, and then bang, his engine goes out. But he's learned, and he's actually won 2 races this season. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, my old school way of thinking. But I would rather limp home and turn the wick down and make it there and just be parked and 5 laps from the end within striking distance. That would hurt me a lot more. Anyway,
each to their own, and someone else's engine. Phillips, no!
Phillips! Oh no! Engine failure for Phillips. Oh my goodness gracious me! Ben, report to the headmaster.
Well,
that's a joke, folks. People who don't understand that. That's English school, boarding school, and things like that, public school. If you're going to get caned or beaten or told off or something, report to the headmaster for 10 strokes of the cane, mate. He's naughty. Ben, dude. Oh gosh, I'm shocked.
Well, here's the here's the replay of Ben Phillips doing the deed which will send him to Brian Labodi's headmaster's office. As you can see, just exiting turn 1, the engine lets go, and he parks it by the side of the track.
I mean, 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. And look at Dave Carl Smith. He's turned the wick down. Van der Geest has closed within 5 seconds, but it's only 1 lap to go. Jack, take us to the last lap, please, mate.
Okay, Brian, it's Dimitri Dematos then, who has absolutely destroyed the rest of the field today. It looked like Carl Smith would have been able to stay with him early on, but various incidents meant that wasn't the case. Dematos' fastest lap was a 17.4, and Carl Smith's fastest lap was a 17.9. So it certainly looks as though Dematos has had the legs on the rest of the field today. With Rasmus Tally not around, it certainly looks like it's going to be Dematos' title to lose right now. as he comes through the final few corners. He's got Marcus Hoffman in front of him. That's always a bit of a danger. But started on pole position. He's leading the World Championship. Well, and when I say World Championship, I mean the Pro Championship. And Dimitri de Matos, DDM as Brian so affectionately calls him, exits the final corner now and comes across the line to win the Hungarian Pro Grand Prix. And, oh, look at that! Spectacular stuff. Didn't quite go according to plan because he smashed into the Armco, but a magnificent win for de Matos. And, well, he'll be chuffed to pieces with that. It'll be Dave Carr-Smith to come home in second position, I would imagine. Unless something goes spectacularly wrong. But he's exiting the final corner now. Hugs the apex, and a good drive for Dave Carr-Smith. It's been quite a while since he had a really good result. But he's got one today, a second position. Job van der Geest finishes not far behind in third. Mindegas Columbus will make it a Toro Motorsport. In fact, look at this. Toro Motorsports, second, fourth, fifth and sixth. So
wow.
Toro Motorsports. Mindegas Columbus comes across the line in fourth. Cyril Verdmuller will exit the final corner to come in fifth. Tumala's already finished in sixth.
I think that's Cyril's highest race finish in FSR, Jack, if I remember correctly. His name doesn't just pop up to the top of my head, but well done. And then Hoffman rounding up, coming up in the last turn 12 and 13 and 14. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff, Jack. Wow. And anyway, de Matos has now stretched his lead even further now to Euler and Carr-Smith. So like you said, Jack, it's he's doing the business at the moment. Jack, back over to you, mate. Oh, look at that sliding.
Yeah, that was pretty close, but he sure is doing the business. And, well, a pretty entertaining race. There were spells in the middle where it all quieted down a bit, but overall, and Scott Wild is saying that he did not have damage, he just really had a bad handling car. So interesting news there from Scott. Opposite lock at every corner, so he's obviously not very happy with that setup there.
Definitely, yeah, 4 laps down. His car must have been handling like a pig there, but yeah, definitely. Okay, cool.
So we're going to have a little music break, and we'll try and get some drivers up here for the press conference. To be honest, I'd be a little bit surprised if anyone came, but if not, we'll have mine and Brian's final thoughts. So we'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to the pro race here at the Hungaroring, and we've been joined here in the booth now by Clayton Nelms. Clayton, well, I don't really know where to start. You qualified well, you were running high early on, but then it sort of went a bit wrong.
Yeah, qualified third. I think it was like 1 or 2 tenths off pole or something. It was really close, and yeah, the first stint was okay, like just staying behind Henning Cordes and Dave Carl Smith, getting a bit held up a bit, but I came for my first pit stop and it was very long. I don't know why, but I lost about 4 seconds or something, and yeah, and then it just I got stuck behind some guys on a 2-stopper, which I was on a 3-stopper, so that wasn't any good. And then I got a stop-go penalty for going wide at one of the corners, and that just pretty much just wrecked my race.
Sorry to hear that, Clayton, because you were doing so well there, and we were wondering what happened. So you must have received some kind of damage, minimal damage. Maybe you didn't react in time. You can actually switch the repairs off so you don't get any repairs. I don't know how your car was handling after that, though, but you gave us quite a good show, Clayton. So thanks very much, dude. Jack, any more questions for Clayton?
Yeah, Clayton, I think this is your most promising race so far of the season, really. I think. Have you really enjoyed this circuit then, I guess, or have you had a good setup, or what is it that's made you really strong here?
Well, the setup was a big part of it, but this is actually a track I don't like at all, so I was quite surprised to be pretty competitive. But yeah, it's really down to the team. They've worked really hard, and yeah, we're working really hard now, and we're starting to turn things around. And I think also not just in Pro, but in Ace and the World Championship, we'll start seeing Go Speed winning races and start getting on the podium more often.
And what about next race? The next race has been switched around, so it will actually be Spa-Francorchamps next. Are you looking forward to driving Spa?
Oh yeah, I like Spa. That'll be good.
Yeah, everyone loves Spa, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us here, Clayton. It would be nice if a few of your pro companions could do the same, but unfortunately they're a bit camera shy. Well, thank you for joining us, Clayton. Brian, final thoughts from you on today's race? Oh, I do apologise. Phil Roberts is in the broadcast booth here. Sorry, Phil. I didn't spot you there. How was your race today from your perspective?
My race today was better than my last two, I think. I wasn't quite as far off the pace as I have been. Managed the top 10 finish, mainly due to others not finishing, but I don't think I was dead last, which is encouraging. And hopefully the switch to Spa-Francorchamps for the next round will help with a bit of motivation, which I think I need at the moment.
We saw you having a couple of battles with your teammate Rob Fakes, which got a bit close at certain points. Were you ever concerned that you would collide?
No, I'm pretty confident with Rob being a good driver, and unfortunately in the first lap I braked to avoid a spinning car, and he didn't quite see it in time and hit the back of me, so he had front end damage and I had rear end damage for a lot of the race, which actually slowed him down. I think he was saying he was about 2 seconds off the pace from what he was doing, and after he got it repaired he did switch from a 1-stop to a 2-stop during the race, and after he got it repaired he was down into the 18s rather than 20s and the 21s that he was running, and during the first stint he was actually holding me up, so he sort of arranged to let me through at one point, before he then sped off into the distance when he had a fixed car.
Excellent. And so you say you're looking forward to Spa?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I've lacked a bit of motivation over the last week. I was really looking forward to this race when the track was first released just over a week and a half ago. But this week I haven't actually done a lot of testing, so hopefully a top 10 finish and a track which should be really enjoyable. I might do a lot more testing and get even closer and hopefully be fighting with these guys instead of just keeping out their way as they lap me.
Indeed. Well, we wish you all the best for that. I think that is all our interviewees. Yep, that definitely is now. Brian, now I'll have your final thoughts.
Yeah, Jack, well again, the podium guys, no real people that we didn't expect to be there. Dimitri Dematos, Dave Carr-Smith, Job Van der Geest, all previous race winners. Other guys that we saw doing quite well, Usal, Clayton Nelms, not people that we usually see. Columbus doing quite well, but Columbus tends to be in the top 10 usually, so he was there, but he was for quite a while in third place. The driver for me of the day, gosh, help me here, Jack. Who really shone out for you?
I think Job Van der Geest.
Yeah, because he was quite.
Job.
Yeah, Ben would have been more there because he was 15th on the grid, and he even with engine problems. And yeah, but interesting track. We saw how it caught some people out. Brake failures, unusual. Engines again. Hey, let's hope Emil will turn that wick down again or adjust it ready for Spa. Looking forward to Spa. I just want to just quickly mention our sponsors, Natural Point, PSR TV, of course, who brings us all the live videos and the TV presentations and the commentators, and also FSR for the league that they produce here for us. And also want to thank you as well, Jack, and also first time I think Carol, who's been doing the cameras and bringing us the replays, so thanks a lot there to Carol as well, to you, Jack. Michael Lamb in the background giving us some information, and Sean Stroud as well, feeding us with tidbits during the race as well. So thanks to all of you guys who participated and helped make our lives a bit easier. Without it, we would have been lots of gaps. So Jack, any of your last thoughts, mate?
Yep, thanks of course to that man, Brian Labode, for joining me here today. Energetic and enthusiastic as always. As he mentioned, Karol Poniatowski with his first time on the cameras. And I think that's about it. Dimitri Dematos then leads the World Championship, the drivers' standings in Pro with 198 points. Lucas Euler is second. Dave Carr-Smith is third now with 124 points. And in the Constructors' Championship, Ash Racing are being closed in on by Torrent Motorsports. I'm going to go to bed to get ready for my race tomorrow morning, which you can see live on PSR TV. The race starts at 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, or 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. I should probably know. It's certainly 11 o'clock English time. Yeah, 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. So we hope to see you then, and I hope you can watch me crash into the barriers. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
guys.